I'm California, where the Yankees and the California Angels are going at it for the final time here in 1966. Going for the Yankees tonight, the young left-hander Fritz Peterson. In his rookie year with the Yankees, his record 10-9. And for the California Angels, Marcelino Lopez, who is expected to do big things for the Angels, but is having a rugged year. His record right now, 5-12. The weather tonight, about 73 degrees. And we've had a beautiful day, most of the day. About noon, the weather cleared, and it was bright and sunny, and the weather is perfect for baseball tonight. Last night, there were about 21,000 people on hand, with the California Angels running at 1,226,000 people for the year. So the new ballpark here in Orange County in Anaheim has been a big boon to the Angels here in 1966. Last night, California beat the Yankees. Dean Chance getting the win, Al Downing taking the loss. The score was 5-2. And the road trip, as it looks right now, the Yankees have won 1 and lost 2. After tonight's game, they go on to Minnesota for a 4-game set, on to Baltimore 4 more, and then to Boston, where they clean it up. They'll be back at the stadium on September the 13th, Tuesday night, against the Washington Senators. Looking at the lineups for the Yankees, it'll be Clark, Richardson, Boyer, Pepitone, Tresh, Whitaker, Howard, Clinton, and Peterson. Maris out of the lineup with the left-handed Marcelino Lopez pitching for the Angels, and Mantle still nursing a sore right toe. He had a severe foul hit that 2 days ago and has been out since. It's a day-to-day proposition, and as soon as the swelling goes down, Mantle will be back in action. But tonight he's sitting the ball game out, but is available for a pinch-hitting role. For the California Angels, I should say, Cardinal in left, Johnstone, Fregosi, Adcock, Rogers, Knopp, Shaw, Pearsall, and Marcelino Lopez. And Jim Fregosi, who was decked by an Al Downing pitch last night, did not figure to start. But apparently, and the story around here, all the ball players and the newspaper men are calling him Iron Jaw Jim Fregosi. He went down and was removed from the ball game last night in the middle of the game. No fracture and no concussion. It hit him just at the point of the jaw and the temple, and apparently he's okay, and he will be in the lineup tonight. So we're about 15 minutes or so away from game time. And with us this evening, a veteran sports writer who has been covering the baseball beat for about 20 years. I'm talking about Leonard Coppett of the New York Times. And Leonard, it certainly is nice to have you with us, and I know that you cover both the American and the National. It's nice to have you with the Yankees on this trip.
Jerry, it's a pleasure, and it's a pleasure sitting here in this lovely ballpark in this beautiful California weather and getting ready for a ball game.
Leonard, let me ask you this question. You hit on a point that I was going to ask you about. You've been through the National League. You've been through the American League. A lot of new stadiums going up all over the baseball circuits. What are new ballparks doing for baseball?
Well, obviously, they've done a tremendous amount financially. In every new ballpark, attendance is way, way up, usually running about double of what it was in the previous park. You have the most striking example of it right now in St. Louis, where they changed parks in the middle of the season. And they're getting crowds of 40,000 almost twice a week, where in their old ballpark they couldn't get in much more than 32 or 33. So in that respect, it's done a lot. I think it's done a lot for baseball in that the new ballparks, all of them, are so clean and roomy and pleasant to go to that I think it's making people who go to baseball games feel more comfortable. I hate to use this expression, but it gives it a little more class than the old, worn-out ballparks did. And I have to say, when I say that, I don't mean Yankee Stadium as a worn-out ballpark, although it's an older one. I mean the ballparks like Connie Mack Stadium in Philadelphia and Old Busch Stadium in St. Louis and some of the other parks that show the signs of wear and age. They just were never conceived with the possibilities that the new parks are. There's also been something lost, and that's the intimacy that parks like Ebbets Field and Connie Mack Stadium gave you, where the fan could be so close to the action compared to the layout of these new parks. But all in all, I think the new parks are preferable.
Well, then how would you explain, is it the new park or the new town that stimulates attendance, particularly in this case of the California Angels here, coming 40 miles south of L.A. to a brand-new ballpark, their own? Suddenly their attendance jumping by 800 or 900,000.
Well, I think several things come together there, Jerry. The new ballpark has a lot to do with it, aside from it being a slightly different area. Really, I guess, a quite different area, because the clientele they draw is not the same as they drew when they were in downtown Los Angeles. Also, I think it's been shown many times in many places, as far back as the Yankees leaving the Polo Grounds and building their own Yankee Stadium. The second team in a ballpark where two teams use one park always suffers a great deal. It lacks identity. It lacks creating the feeling that it's a team in its own right. And when a team can, as the Angels did, move out of a tenant situation into a park of their own, that in itself is a big lift. Then in the case of the Angels this year, they got off to a very good start in a league that was, we forget now, is very much bunched at the beginning of the year. It wasn't at all clear the first couple of months of the season that the Orioles were going to open up the big lead that they did. And I think at the end of the year, if you analyze the Angel attendance according to the month in which they drew the most, it's heavily weighted towards the beginning of the year, with a big lift of a new situation and a contending position.
Leonard, let's jump into another area that is on the fringe of this new stadium, and let's talk a little bit about expansion. It's been in the newspapers for the last dozen years. People are talking about it. Baseball, the commissioner's office say that we're not quite ready. What is your opinion of this? I know that you've been on top of this.
Well, I think there's no question there's going to be another expansion in Major League Baseball within 2 or 3 years. Not next year, but very soon after that. There are going to be 24 teams. They're going to be divided into two 12-team leagues, and each 12-team league is going to be divided into 16 divisions, with the members of the two divisions playing each other, but not interleague play. I think that's pretty well spelled out, that gradually that's going to happen. Most of the discussion nowadays centers around which cities will be part of the expansion. And there's a lot of interesting speculation about that. One of the places coming on very strong now is San Diego. I know a lot of people I've spoken to. The first reaction to that is, well, gee, the Dodgers are already here, and the Angels are already here in this area, and San Diego is not that big a city, and it's hemmed in geographically with mountains on one side and ocean on the other, and Mexico to the south, and then it would have to draw substantially from this same area. But then when you talk a little more to baseball people, some of them in this area seem very intrigued with the idea of the kind of local rivalry that would exist. Suppose you had San Diego in the National League, for example. Well, now you've got a local rival for the Dodgers and for the Giants. Or if it were an American League team, for the Angels. And I think without that, one of the things we can be sure of is that there will be a team in Oakland, because an American League team in Oakland, where the balance is needed so badly.
Leonard, that sounds like the gold rush to California.
Yes,
4
it does.
clubs in one state.
Yes, it does. And you can see the reasons for it. The climate here, not so much in Oakland, but the climate down here is so dependable for a promoter who's putting on an outdoor event that that in itself is a very attractive factor. And it is the area of the country with the largest and fastest growth of population, I guess economic expansion. You think back 50 or 60 years when Major League Baseball really got rolling with the two leagues around the turn of the century, it was all concentrated in the northeast corner of the country, where the population was at the time. You had 2 teams in Boston, 3 in New York, 2 in Philadelphia. So the population has shifted and times have changed, and we may see a concentration in California in the future.
We're talking to Leonard Coppett of the New York Times, who's been on the baseball beat for 20 years at least, and one of the most astute sport writers in the business today. Let me drop this one in your lap, Leonard. Does the decision by the Wisconsin State Supreme Court sanctioning the move of the Milwaukee Braves to Atlanta, what will this mean in baseball's future?
I don't know that it means very much one way or the other at the moment. Presumably that case has to be appealed to the United States Supreme Court. And whether it's being appealed or not at the moment, I don't know. I haven't seen anything in the papers on that the last few days. I think it's around the time they're supposed to appeal now. in any case, either that will go to the Supreme Court and there'll be some kind of decision about baseball status, which would be at least many months or a year away, or it'll just be dropped, in which case it doesn't mean anything. I think the question there is whether or not Milwaukee will have one of the expansion teams to come. And I think that'll affect the shape of the major leagues. Personally, of course, I feel strongly that Milwaukee should be part of any expansion, but very likely in the American League to get rid of some of the bad taste of this whole subject, which was, I thought, terribly handled and a very bad thing for baseball in people's eyes.
Leonard, Commissioner Eckert stated in a recent Sporting News piece that I read that in the future, clubs at either a new franchise or clubs that were being bought would be purchased in large by people living in the community of the ball club. Do you agree with this, or does it make any difference?
Well, it makes a lot of difference if we're talking about moving out of a city. Many people in baseball feel strongly that the damage that was done in the whole Milwaukee situation was in not convincingly making a strong effort to sell a club locally before moving it out. I don't think it makes too much difference who owns an existing team, whether the people who own it are residents of the city. But I think it makes a lot of difference when you're thinking of moving out of a city that you make it very clear that if people there wanted to keep it, they had the opportunity. No, talking about this expansion, Jerry, the place we haven't mentioned that we must mention is talking about gold rushes is Seattle, where everyone seems to feel that's the next really lucrative area, as Atlanta has been now.
They also say that Seattle, if there is a ball club, a major league club, must have a domed stadium.
Yes.
Now let's get back to the Houston Astrodome. This is a point I'd like to bring up. Is baseball the same on that synthetic turf?
No, it's not the same, but I don't know that it's that much different than it is from one park to another anyhow. In other words, we all see how different some infields are and some outfields, where the ground is harder. Pittsburgh is notorious for a hard infield. St. Louis used to be in the old ballpark. And while no question the surface in the Astrodome is faster, much faster than average, whether it's that extreme as to be out of the realm of ordinary variation, I don't know. Of course, I'm not a ball player. I can't judge that.
Well, we've been talking to Leonard Koppett of the New York Times, and tragically, the time is moving on, and we must move along to bring you up to date on all the scores. And I'd like to thank you, Leonard, for a spectacular interview as always.
Jerry, pleasure to be here.
Okay, taking a look at the scores as we have them right now, the Dodgers and the Pirates in the National League are in the 10th inning in a tie ball game at 1 apiece. They're playing in the 10th at Pittsburgh, the score 1 apiece. The Mets beat the Giants this afternoon by a score of 2-1. The losing pitcher was Gaylord Perry, the winner, Dennis Ryban. Philadelphia took Houston 3-1. Farrell took the loss. Jackson got the win. After 5 innings of play, the Cubs lead Cincinnati 4-1. And after 5.5 of play, the Cardinals lead the Atlanta Braves by a score of 5-4. In the American League, there are only 2 ball games underway. Cleveland beat Baltimore 4-1. The winning pitcher was Siebert. The loser was Palmer. And in the other game in the American League, it's 5 apiece after 5.5. Detroit playing the Chicago White Sox in Chicago. And on the field, Marcelino Lopez is warming up for the California Angels. And the young rookie Fritz Peterson is going for the Yankees. Weather, as we mentioned before, ideal here tonight, about 75 degrees. Right now, exactly 73 degrees. California Angels won the first game of the 2-game set, and this will conclude the series for the year of 1966 between the Yankees and California. Don't forget, the Yankees return to the stadium on September the 13th against the Washington Senators. That'll be a Tuesday night. And we might throw in very briefly that on the 17th of September, Saturday afternoon, Bobby Richardson Day at the stadium. A look at the standings as we have it right now. San Francisco trailing the Pirates by a half a game pending the outcome of the Dodger and Pirate game. And the Dodgers 2.5 behind as it stands right now. That's the National League. In the American League, the Baltimore Orioles out in front of the Detroit Tigers by 11.5. So that's just about it. This is Jerry Coleman saying so long for the Yankee baseball warm-up. We'll see you tomorrow night at 8:40 from Minnesota.
WCBS and WCBS-FM, New York.
Jose Cardinal.
It's New York Yankee baseball, and tonight the Yankees meet the California Angels. This Yankee baseball broadcast is brought to you direct from Anaheim Stadium in California by courtesy of P. Ballantyne & Sons, the brewers of Ballantyne beer. Ballantyne's got the flavor that says, hey, friend, do it again, Ballantyne beer. Today's Ballantyne, big and bright, crisp and light. Today's Ballantyne beer is the greatest ever. And by courtesy of the Tidewater Oil Company and your neighborhood Flying A service station dealers. Professional car worriers who worry the trouble right out of your car. Only time they don't worry is when they're pumping new hydrogen-treated Flying A gasoline. It's already been worried to perfection. At Flying A, when it comes to your car, ooh, do we worry. Hi, everybody. This is Joe Garagiola welcoming you to New York Yankee baseball. Red Barber and I will be on for the first half of the ball game. Jerry Coleman and Phil Rizzuto for the second half. And just a beautiful evening here at Anaheim. Beautiful day today. And you hear the lineup being announced to the crowd here, and the big roar that went up when Jim Fragosi's name was announced. Fragosi hit by a pitch ball, but he's in the lineup tonight. And it'll be two left-handers, Fritz Peterson and Marcelino Lopez. And here to give you the complete lineups and some of the pre-game festivities, the old redhead Red Barber.
Second base.
Right out, Joe. And for the Yankees, playing their last time at Anaheim Stadium and their last game of the season with the Angels, it'll be Clark leading off at shortstop, Richardson at second base, Moya at third is moved up to hit third, Pepitone at first base hitting fourth, Tresh in left field, Young Whitaker in center. Mantle is out of it. He has the very sore right big toe where he hit a foul ball on his foot at Kansas City. And it's still a question whether he's going to lose a nail or not.
Number 4.
Howard is catching.
In right field.
Lou Clinton is in right because of a left-hander starting. And Fritz Peterson, who's having a fine rookie year, has won 10 and lost 9. He's 1-1 with the Angels. This young Peterson has been a steady pitcher. He's only pitched what you'd say one bad ball game all season, and that was here early in the year. And in his last 3 games, he has given up 1 run in each of them. He lost 2 of them, 1-0, and then he won the last one. Still only gave up the 1 run. Now for the Angels, when we went out of the ballpark last night, you would have bet the family jewels that 2 fellas that are in the starting list for Rigner tonight would not be there. Cardinal, who limped off out of center field in the last inning, and Fragosi, who was really hit on a high on the left cheekbone. But they're both in there. Cardinal has hit in his last 5 ball games, and because he hurt his heel somewhat, he had x-rays taken this afternoon just to make certain. Manager Rigney has moved him over to left field, and he has switched the young rookie, Jay Johnstone, to center. Fragosi is at short and hitting third, and he contends that he was not hit on the helmet, that he was hit squarely on the cheekbone. And a lot of the newspaper stories said the same thing, and of course they're saying it from him. But Joe Adcock, who was on deck and watching it, said he was hit on the helmet. And the third base coach, Del Rice, said he was hit on the helmet. And I know that Joe Garagiola and I both agree from the sound and what we saw, if he hadn't been hit partially on the helmet, he would be in that batting order tonight. Is that how you feel, Joe?
Exactly how I feel. And to use a ball player's expression that I heard today, Red, if he'd have been hit on the jaw, not on the helmet, his lips would have been stapled together today.
Well, I know that's how we feel. But, of course, the thing about Fragosi is he has a great pride. He has taken a blow, and he's in there tonight. Well, I think that's just great. But also, I'd say that Fragosi was, while he was the fellow that was hit, he was the last man to know exactly where he was hit. He was so busy ducking and dodging. Anyhow, that's that. And Joe Adcock is hitting 4. Rogers, the catcher, batting 5th. Knapp, the second baseman. Shaw at 3rd. Jimmy Pearsall, the veteran right fielder. And Marcelino Lopez is the pitcher.
He's won 5, lost 12. He's on 1 with the Yankees this year. And I'll say this about Rigney. He's consistent. Rigney is going to go to the Pacific Ocean, and someday Marcelino Lopez is going to beat the Yankees. A lot of ball games he started against him, he didn't get a decision. He hadn't beaten him yet, and he's lost to him 6 times. The umpires, Runge, Springstad, Clark, and Valentine, have come out. They have the managers meeting with them. And this gives us an opportunity to take a break. This is New York Yankee baseball, and we pause for station identification.
Tomorrow morning at 9:15, Jerry Lewis pays a call on the Jack Sterling Show, WCBS and WCBS-FM, New York.
Marcelino Lopez is the starting pitcher, and Rigney has another pitcher that he got from the Mexican League recently, another one named Lopez. Not so long ago, Saw was umpiring back of the plate, and Rigney said, "My new pitcher is Lopez." So Saw wrote it down on a batting card. Then he looked up, and he saw this new fellow from the Mexican League. He'd never seen him before, and he went storming over to Rigney and said, "You told me you got to put Lopez in." Rigney said, "That's right." Well, he says, "I've written him down, and he's got to be in." Rigney says, "He's in." And Saw says, "Well, look at him then." Rigney said, "That is a Lopez." Now, if you want to ask Hank Saw about it, it's on your own head. You know, there is a book rule, you know, when you tell an umpire that the ball player's in, he's got to be in. And Saw came over there charging because he was certain that he had something on his hands. The umpire scatter him. Houck goes back over to the Yankee dugout, which is on the first base side. Rigney goes over to his. The Angels take the field. We've got quite an enthusiastic crowd. It's over 20,000. The Angels in this new ballpark are going to lead the American League in attendance if Baltimore's not careful. They're leading it right now. And they think maybe they're going to lead it at the end of the month. And now, our national anthem.
To rise and join Shea Tord at the organ in singing our national anthem.
The Angels are afield. In a moment, it'll be Clark as the first Yankee hitter.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And we're going to
the Angels
get Joe Garagiola started now because all of us have got a long night. We play this ball game, go to the airport, then we're going to be on the plane. And if all goes according to the schedule, we'll be at our hotel at Minneapolis at 9 o'clock in the morning, Joseph.
Can't wait, man. I just can't wait.
Who was that fellow said you can't beat the hours?
On the outcome of the game.
You can't even tie them these days. Everything is inflated.
Repeating the battery.
Horace Clark will lead it off
For the
for the Yankees as Marcelino Lopez takes his warm-up tosses.
Pitching.
Beautiful evening. Another good crowd on hand.
Marcelino Lopez.
Boy, a lot of baseball people in the stands tonight. The Washington Club is here, and manager Gil Hodges.
For the Yankees.
His coaches Joe Pignatano and Rube Walker and Eddie Yost, and two broadcasters are here.
Jim Higgins.
We were kidding them, saying, you guys, you know, busman's holiday, and Hodges said, oh, they didn't have to come. I just said, you want to go to game tonight? And they all wanted to go. And Don Hefner, who was out at Cincinnati as the manager, is in the ballpark with his lovely lady. Mr. and Mrs. Hefner sitting with Fred Haney. Al Zarilla's here. that convention of old St. Louis Browns, Red.
Yes, sir. Gone where the woodbine twineth.
There's a beauty.
Number 20.
Gone where the woodbine twineth. Okay. You got that going. And here's Horace Clarke to bat right-handed against Marcelino Lopez. And here's the first pitch of the ball game. It is high. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Did Ed Charles write that, Red?
No, but he'd claim it.
Fastball is inside. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Ball game just getting started. Horace Clarke. Lopez delivers his strike. 2-1 the count. Outfield straight away. Not too deep. Clarke hitting .264. Here's a high bouncy ball. Fregosi is short, has it. The long throw in time. Nice play by Fregosi. And it'll bring up Bobby Richardson.
Next batter.
Joe Adcock, who is somewhat of an expert on beanings, was talking about the psychology involved after the beaning. Remember, he had the big day in Brooklyn, 4 home runs, and then led off with a double and then got beamed. Here's the pitch. A strike. He said the first pitch he took after the beaning, he fell all over the place, and it was a called ball, and it was then he decided he'd have a pep talk with himself. Richardson swings, and he misses for strike 2. It was either a case of going back to Coushatta, Louisiana, where he lives, or getting back in a batter's box and playing. And he said that's what Fregosi's going to have to do tonight. Fregosi's in the lineup. Here's a bouncy ball to Fregosi again. Big hop, long throw. And there are 2 outs. It brings up Clete Boyer. Joe was saying there are some hitters who just can't get over a beaning.
Third baseman.
Bob Hazel was the fellow he named. He said he got beamed, and he said every time the pitcher would wind up to throw the ball, he just could see it right between his eyes, and he just could not bat anymore. Here's the fastball. It's a strike to Clete Boyer. The Dodgers and Pirates went into extra innings tied at 1-1, and the Dodgers scored 3 runs in the top of the 10th. Pirates batting, trailing 4-1. Here's a hot shot to the third baseman, Shaw. He's got it, the long throw, and Boyer is out. 1-2-3 for the Yankees in the top half of the first, and so the score at the end of a half inning. It's New York 0, California coming to bat. Jose Cardinal will lead it off for the California Angels. Cardinal hitting .275, 13 home runs, 35 runs batted in. As Red said before the game, the way he limped off the field, brother, there was some doubt as to whether he would be in the lineup tonight along with Fregosi. But here he is, leading off. He's been pretty much of a first ball hitter. It'll be interesting to see if he jumps on the first pitch as the leadoff man here. Well, we got a chance here to take a quick look at the scoreboard. The Tigers and the White Sox are tied 5-5 at the end of 6. Pena against Wilhelm, both in relief. Northrop had a home run in the 4th with 2 on. Agee had one in the 1st, nobody on. Cleveland over Baltimore 4-1. 5-hitter by Siebert. Alvis had a home run, and Duke Sims had 1 in the 6th with a man on. Palmer was the loser. Only game scheduled in the American League. Cardinal is set. Peterson gets his sign. And here's the pitch to Cardinal. High, ball 1. Mets beat the Giants 2-1. Rybant the winner all the way. The loser was Perry. His record 20-5. And the Dodgers, as I told you, scored 3 runs in the top of the 10th. They lead 4-1 against Pittsburgh. Mickelson against Sutton. Cardinal takes it low. It's ball 2. Philadelphia 3, Houston 1. Larry Jackson the winner. Farrell was the loser. Nicholson had a home run in the 3rd, nobody on. Cubs 7, Cincinnati 1, end of 6. Kuntz against Balshin. Pappas was knocked out. Banks had a home run in the 4th, nobody on. St. Louis 5 and Atlanta 4 at the end of 6. Carlton against Necro, and Buchek the only home run. 2-0 pitch is right down the middle. Ed Runge behind the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the first, no score. Peterson, 2-1 pitch. Swung on, bouncing ball up the middle. Richardson behind second has it. Here's the throw, easy out, and Cardinal was really limping going down the first base line. He could hardly run.
Next batter, number 10, center fielder, Jay Johnstone.
Johnstone is the hitter. The reason it's so surprising, if it's that bad, it makes you wonder. And then again, you wonder if he's setting up a decoy. You have to wait till there's a base hit inside or they put a play on to see if his leg really hurts that badly. Johnstone takes a strike on the outside corner. Once Cardinal saw Richardson come up with the ball, he really went into a limp. He looked like he was doing Gunsmoke live. Looking for Mr. Dillon. It's a strike. Here's a strike to Johnstone, and he's out of there. And Ed Kirkpatrick is trotting down to the bullpen. He's been in the outfield for the Angels, so he may be the replacement.
Shortstop.
Johnstone called out on
Fregosi.
strikes, and here's Fregosi. The first pitch outside, ball 1. Peterson ready. Fregosi. Fly ball, right field. Clinton near the line, going back, reaches and makes the play and bangs into the wall. Nice play by Lew Clinton as Fregosi sliced one down the line. Clinton had a little more room than he really thought. He had to reach, made the play. It's 1-2-3 for the Angels, and the score at the end of a complete inning. It's the California Angels nothing and the Yankees nothing. Patrick has gone into play right field, so Cardinal is out of the ball game. Jim Pearsall has moved from right field to left field.
Number 25.
In the outfield now, Pearsall in left.
Joe Pepitone.
Johnstone in center. And Kirkpatrick in right. Here's Joe Pepitone. Fastball all the way back to the screen. Pepitone shortened up as if to bunt. He drew Paul Shaw in at third base. Joe Pepitone. Love the way the fellow says his name here. Joe Pepitone. 30 home runs, 75 runs batted in, hitting .260. He has really been a solid ball player. High and tight, knocks him back. Scoreboard indicates 1-1, unless that first one ticked the bat. Keep watching. Now Pepitone's asking about it, and Runge indicates ball 2. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Pepitone. Swung on a foul ball coming straight back. You'd be surprised how ball players depend on that scoreboard. Really do. Ball players, broadcasters, right arm. The ball players constantly looking. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Swung on a line drive into left center field. Pearsall racing over, cuts it off, and holds Pepitone to a single. Pepitone is on with a base hit. That's the first base hit of the ball game. It brings up Tom Tresh.
Number 15.
Pepitone is on.
Left fielder, Tom Price.
Tom hitting .237, 20 home runs, 55 runs batted in. No score, top of the second. Pepitone a lead. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Marcelino Lopez, a good fastballer. The 1-0 pitch is inside, and it's ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Bailey has just hit a home run for Pittsburgh in the 10th with a man on. Boy, what a race. Here's the pitch to Trey. Swung on a fly ball deep to right field. Kirkpatrick is going back. He's got room. Makes the catch. Pepitone tags up. He moves on down to second, and I wouldn't be surprised it was an appeal play. Joe Pepitone, who has had trouble sliding because he's been jamming his wrist, had his hands straight in the air.
Center fielder.
And he went sliding in.
Whitaker.
Here is Whitaker. Tresh hit the ball hard. Pepitone is all right at second base. He made sure he wasn't going to jam that wrist. Whitaker waits, and Lopez delivers. Foul tip. That got Rogers. Whitaker is hitting .353. 3 home runs, 7 runs batted in. 2 doubles, 2 triples. Boy, he's a handsome youngster, too, I'll tell you. Lopez at the belt. Delivers a curveball. It's fouled straight back on the screen, out of play. Strike 2. Man, he's one of those kids in the lobby when you see him. Big shock of hair, pearly white teeth. Great features. Looks like he just fell right out of a magazine. Everything is in place. The expression goes, he's got good parts and in the right spot. That's the way I would have liked to have looked in the lobby. 2-strike pitch. Low, ball 1. All I was building up for the young ladies that he is single. Good luck. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Low, and it's ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that was a tough sidearm fastball. And this kid just hung right in there. It didn't faze him. They're going to strike him out, and he's going to get called out. But I guarantee you, he's going to give you a battle. He is an aggressive hitter. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pepitone is on at second base. Lopez looks in for the sign. No score. Lopez at the belt. Delivers. Swung on a fly ball. Right field. Kirkpatrick is coming in and makes the catch. Pepitone cannot advance.
Number 32, catcher, Elston Howard.
And here is Elston Howard. Elston Howard with Joe Pepitone on at second base. 2 men out. Howard hitting .260. Fouls one, out of play. Line drive, in and out. Pepitone a good lead at second. He singled and moved on to second base on the fly ball hit deep to right field by Tom Tresh. Lopez delivers. Swung on and missed. 2 strikes to count. The final score is just going up there. Dodgers 4 and Pittsburgh 3. 10 innings. Mets over the Giants 2-1. Really getting tight. Here's the 2-strike pitch to Howard. Swung on and tapped foul on the first baseline. Two strikes, 2 outs. Pepitone at second. The outfield swung around towards right center field. Pearsall in left. He's deep. Johnstone's in right center. Kirkpatrick near the line. They're really playing Howard as if he were a left-handed batter. 2-strike pitch. Swung on and fouled back. Count remains at strike 2. Howard waiting. Pepitone edges off the bag. Big lead at second. Lopez delivers. Low, ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bobby Knopp, the second baseman, way back. He's about 5 steps into the outfield grass. He wants to at least knock the ball down to keep Pepitone from scoring. Lopez, a 1-2 pitch to Howard. Did it hit him? Nope. It's just ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, right at his feet. Bill Rigney is moving his center fielder, Johnstone, more straight away now. He was way over in right center, and it was Kirkpatrick in right field that brought this to Rigney's attention. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pepitone at second base, no score in the second inning. They claim and balk, but Runge says no. Lopez had started to go for a sign and backed off. Now Lopez is set. Howard waits, and here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled, out of play. Count remains at 2-2. Dodgers 4 and Pirates 3. Mets 2, Giants 1, final. 8th inning, Chicago 7, Cincinnati 1. 8th inning, St. Louis 5, Atlanta 4. Here's the pitch. Curveball is swung on. A bouncing ball is Shaw at third base. He's got a long throw and plenty of time. Howard is out. Shaw to Adcock. It's no runs, 1 hit, no errors. 1 man left to score at the end of an inning and a half. It's the Yankees nothing and the Angels nothing.
What?
The batter.
Joe Adcock will lead it off here in the bottom of the second inning. Adcock hitting .286. 16 home runs, 42 runs batted in. Adcock right down in the end of the bat. Clark at shortstop is back into the outfield. Richardson is into the outfield. As Peterson delivers. Swung on, a foul ball out of play, right side. Joe Adcock. Peterson ready. Delivers. Swung on, a fly ball straight away center field. Whitaker going back, has room, he's there, 1 out. Ball hit straight away center field. It's 406 in dead center here. And Whitaker had plenty of room. 1 out. Here is Bob Rogers.
Catcher, Bob Rogers.
Rogers hitting .236, 6 home runs, 45 runs batted in. No score, bottom of the second. Fastball is a strike. Right on the outside corner. Peterson against Lopez. Final appearance here in California this year. Here's the bouncing ball. Clark nicely to his left. He has it. Here's the throw. It's in time. Pepitone comes up with it. Clark to Pepitone gets Rogers. And here is Bobby Knopp. Knopp hitting .222.
Number 29, second baseman, Bobby Knopp.
Knopp chokes up on the bat just a bit. Everybody back. Peterson delivers. Swung on, a bouncing ball to Bobby Richardson. Nice big hop. He's got it over to first, and it's 1-2-3. So Fritz Peterson has worked 2 very neat, polite innings, 3 up and 3 down, and the score at the end of 2 complete innings, it's the New York Yankees nothing, the California Angels nothing. Lou Clinton will lead it off for the New York Yankees here in the top half of the 3rd inning.
Right fielder.
No
Lew
score.
Burdette.
Yankees have made 1 hit, and that was a single by Pepitone. He opened the 2nd inning with a single in the left field. Lopez delivers. It's low for ball one. The on-deck hitter, Fritz Peterson. There's the strike, a good fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. One pitch. Low, and it's ball 2. Two balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. It's low. Fastball missed. It's 3-1. Lou Clinton, the leadoff man here in the top half of the 3rd inning. No score. Marcelino Lopez against Fritz Peterson. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Clinton. Fouls it back, and now it's a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. He had a good cut at a high fastball. Ralph Houck has called his pitcher Peterson back. He's given him verbal instructions as to what he should do if Clinton can get on. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. Clinton draws the base on balls. It brings up Fritz Peterson. And this is New York Yankee baseball, and we'll pause for station identification.
After the game comes the music. Music till dawn with the velvet voice of Bob Hall.
The pitcher,
WCBS and WCBS FM, New York.
Fritz Peterson is the hitter. In the batter's box, waiting. Paul Shaw moves into 3rd. And here's the pitch. Peterson takes it low, ball 1. He had squared around as if to bunt. Peterson takes a good look now at Jim Hegan, coaching at 3rd. Shaw is way in. Peterson's going to have to make Adcock feel that ball if he can. Lopez delivers. Here comes Adcock. Bunted to Adcock. His only play will be to first base. Over to Knopf. Peterson is out, and Clinton easily moves down to second. A beautiful bunt. He deadened it. Adcock came on a dead run, and I just wonder what would have happened had he bunted the ball hard.
Horace Clark.
It looked like Adcock's momentum would have carried him right into foul territory. He really broke. So here is Horace Clark with 1 man out. Clark bounced out short to first his first time up. Good lead by Clinton. No score. We're in the top of the 3rd. Lopez delivers to Clark. Swung on, a foul ball out of play. Right side. Downstairs. Mad scramble begins. I always feel sorry for the vendors when a foul ball goes up, when they're right in the middle of it. Boy, they just don't have any defense. Here's the 1-strike pitch. Inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outfield straight away for Horace Clark. Clark hitting .264. He's been a most pleasant surprise. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on. Oops. Nope. Held up. Bounces. Curveball. It's 2-1. Clark was ready to go. He's ready to turn the bat loose. Held up. No score. Top of the 3rd. Clinton leads off second. Lopez is ready. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on, a fly ball straight away center field. Johnstone has plenty of room. Waiting, makes the catch. Clinton draws the throw, but does not advance. Clark hit the ball hard, but he hit it to the big part of the ballpark. Johnstone had plenty of room, and here is Bobby Richardson, 2 men out, and Clinton still at second. Bobby bounced out for Gossi to Adcock his first time up. Richardson hitting .261. 6 home runs, 35 runs batted in. He'll have a big day on the 17th. Fastball outside, ball 1. And we certainly hope that many of you are planning to be there. And Bobby will clear the air definitely on that day as to what his plans for the future will be. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's a strike, a fastball, 1 ball, 1 strike. Talked to Bobby today, and when that story broke, he said he's had all kinds of calls, and he says he will not make any comment until the 17th. Here's the 1-1 pitch now by Lopez. Swung on and fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So you plan to be with us if you can. Minnesota Twins will be in town. We hope that many of you will participate by being there or by contributing to the Bobby Richardson Fund. Bobby's charities will benefit. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled, out of play. One ball, 2 strikes. Two men out. Clinton, a good lead off second base. Lopez has the sign. Here's the pitch. Swung on, a hot smash, base hit, into left field. Clinton's rounding third. Pearsall's up with the ball. Here's the throw, and it's not in time, and the Yankees lead 1-0. Bobby Richardson comes through with that big 2-out RBI single. It's only the second hit for the Yankees, and the sacrifice bunt is paid off for the Yankees. Clinton drew a base on balls, moved to second on the sacrifice, and after Clark flied deep to center field, Richardson came through with the big base hit. Tell you, when RBIs are measured, one of the big considerations, that 2-out RBI. You've got to get the base hit. No hitting the ground ball where they give you the run for the out. You've got to go out and grab it. Here is Clete Boyer. He bounced out third to first his first time up. Richardson a lead. Here's the pitch. Didn't mean to swing. Hits his bat at strike 1. Bobby Richardson has driven in his 36th run of the year. Yankees lead 1-0. Lead by Richardson at first as Boyer waits, and here's the pitch. Swung on, a bouncing ball. Fregosi right through his legs into left field. Bobby Richardson round second. He's digging for third and makes it easily. An error on Fregosi. Boyer hit a routine ground ball, and Fregosi went down. It went right through the wicket in the left field. Man, that's the kind of an error you just shake your head.
First base.
And if you're playing Little League, you hope that your father's the manager so you can play the next game. So the big leaguers make them too. And now the Yankees have Richardson at third, Boyers at first, and here is Pepitone. Lopez delivers. Swung on, a bouncy ball. Knopf at second base, bobbles it, and everybody's safe. And across the plate, Bobby Richardson, and the Yankees lead 2-0. Boyer was safe on Fregosi's error. Pepitone safe on Knopf's error, and the Yankees lead 2-0.
Tom Tresh, left field.
Here is Tom Tresh. Tresh flied to right his first time up. Fastball is inside, ball 1. Adcock had gotten in behind Pepitone. There was no throw, and now Pepitone says something to Adcock. I still think he'd make a great villain wrestler. It was not even a play, and he got the crowd all worked up. Yankees lead 2-0. 2 errors have really hurt the Angels, that is. Here's the pitch, high. 2 balls, no strikes. Bob Rogers goes out to talk to Lopez. You know, funny things cross your mind, but there was an infielder I played with, came out with Pittsburgh. This is a Columbus named Pep Young. He made 2 errors 1 inning, and then after the second error, he called time. asked for the ball, dropped it at his feet, and jumped on it. Just stomped it. It was his expression of the ball was hot and he was going to kill it. Ball players will holler when a fellow makes an error, get a stick and kill it. 2 routine ground balls, and Fregosi couldn't find the handle, neither could Knopp. Tresh waits. Here's the 2-0 pitch. It's a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. Two men out. This inning started with the base on balls. Bobby Richardson drove in the first run with a single, and then the errors came. Tresh waits, and here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, and a strike 2, and that was as good a fastball as Mr. Lopez has thrown tonight. He turned that one loose. He brought it in, to use the jet age expression. Pitcher now, when they measure him, the expression is he can bring it in. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2-0, Yankees lead. Lopez delivers to Tresh. Foul ball, and Tom had a funny swing. He started to swing, held up, ball hit his bat, and Tom spun himself right into the ground and literally sat down. I'll tell you, over the course of a year, Tresh will give you some unique swings. Remember that one in Stu Miller when he jumped straight up? This one was kind of a corkscrew swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lopez ready, checks the runners. Here's the pitch. Curveball is inside, 3-2. Full count. And now Boyer will break off second. Pepitone will break off first. Pepitone standing on the bag, hollering at Adcock. Stay back there and quit sneaking in behind him. Boyer a good lead at second. Pepitone, big lead at first. Lopez gets the sign. Tresh waits. There go the runners. The pitch is swung on and missed. He struck him out. That's the first strikeout for Lopez. And that retires the side. The Yankees scored 2 runs on 1 hit, 2 errors, 2 men left. And the score at the end of 2.5 innings, it's the New York Yankees 2 and the California Angels nothing.
Joe was talking about Bobby Richardson's day and about the fund. You can send your contributions to the Bobby Richardson Fund, Post Office Box 1414. That's Post Office Box number 1414, Grand Central Post Office Station, New York, New York, 10017. 10017. And that's for the Bobby Richardson Day, Saturday afternoon, September the 17th. And all the monies that are sent in, Bobby will send it in turn to 3 charities, all of them that work with young people, primarily with troubled young people. We'll be going into the last of the 3rd inning just a moment.
Paul Shaw will lead it off for the California Angels. Yankees lead 2-0, and now to bring the play-by-play, here is the old redhead Red Barber.
Okay, Joseph. Shaw, right-hand hitter. Peterson right over there for a strike. This young man has had an amazingly consistent year. I think you'd look back and you'd say he's only pitched 1 bad ball game. He's been a good pitcher. He's only given up 1 run in each of his last 3 ball games. Pitches outside, and he's lost 2 of them. The Yankees being shut out on 2 occasions. 1 ball, 1 strike. Peterson with this 2-0 lead delivers low inside a curve, ball 2. There's no question about Peterson on the staff. He is starting every 4th day. Mountain will open up tomorrow at Minnesota. That's pitch outside, ball 3. And Jim has been set on ahead, so he doesn't have to sit on the plane tonight. He will get his rest. He'll be ready. Everybody else is here. 3-1 pitch in there for the strike. 3-2. Ed Runge, who is an outstanding ball and strike umpire, back to the plate. Springstadt, Flaherty, Valentine on the bases. 3-2 pitch is swung on, line drive. It's a base hit into left field. Trush has to take it on the skip. So Shaw is on. This is the first hit of Peterson.
Number 4.
Now we have Jimmy
Left
Pearsall.
Jim
Started in right
Pearsall.
field after the first inning when Cardinal was limping. He moved over to left. Pearsall, a popular figure, he got his 1600th base hit last evening. Up here on this big A scoreboard, they've got the word goal, and the fans have figured it up howling. Curve, low inside. Ball one. Del Rice coaching at third. Salty Parker coaching at first. The temperature is 72 degrees. Very pleasant evening. Pitch. Outside. Ball 2. 2-0. Peterson pitching. Howard catching. Howard calls Peterson boulders. Peterson wears contact lenses. Once in a while, he gets a little piece of dust back of them, and he says they look big as rocks. So Howard picked that up. He called them boulders. Elston has a name for all of his pitches. His most famous being what he calls Whitey Ford, chairman of the board. And we were delighted to learn that Whitey has been released from the hospital of Houston. He's either at home now or is on his way home, and in about 3 weeks will begin throwing on his own. The doctors recommend throwing at that period. Fred Sanford, 2 years ago, had the same operation, recommends it too. Now the 2-0 pitch. Pearsall swinging, fouls it back. 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Shaw at first for the single, nobody out. Last of the third. Yankees leading 2-0. This is the last meeting of the two teams. Of the 17 games played, the Angels have won 11. Pepitone at first, Richardson at second, Clark at short, Boy at third. Peterson comes set, checks his runner, pitches, foul ball into the first base stand, strike 2, 2-2. Trush is the left fielder, Whitaker's in center. Mantle is out with the bruised right big toe. Clinton is in right field with the left-hander going for the Angels. Fritz is all set, pitching off the stretch. Delivers and has a foul in the first base stands again. 2-2. After watching Chance work last evening, all of these pitches seemed very, very deliberate. That Chance was firing that ball just as fast as he got it. Two-two pitch. Swung on a ground ball, too short. And they ground through Horace Clark. And they get nobody. And here's the runner, Shaw, winding up at third base. The batter at first. So it is contagious. We had a ball go right through Fregosi just like it. And here is a replica that goes right on through shortstop Clark. And this could have been a double play. They get nobody, so now the tying runs are on and nobody's out. Well, this has the earmarks all of a sudden. It might be one of those nights.
Number 33.
You know, these things do rub off on everybody else.
Marcelino Lopez.
So Pearsall is at first base. Error at short. Shaw at third. Second baseman Richardson comes into the mound to talk to young Peterson. Marcelino Lopez hits right-handed. He's a pretty good hitting pitcher. He has 9 for 44. Batting at 200. Infield back. Yankees leading 2-0. He takes a strike. Curveball above the knee. This fella has never beaten New York. He is 0-6 for them. He's got an athlete. Runs well. Outfielder step toward left. Peterson comes set, pitches low, and it is ball one. Howard looking first at the first base, then at third. He wanted to throw to some place. Wasn't any reason. Made 1 ball, 1 strike. Single and an error, nobody out. Last of the third, the Yankees leading 2-0. But they just cracked the front door. Peterson pitches, and it's a half swing on strike 2. He started the swing, was then very undecided. Too late. 1-2. Game being played in the new ballpark, Anaheim, California, Southern California. The Southland, they call it out here. Pitch is outside, fastball, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. At the end of this inning, Joe will canvass all the other scores for you. Peterson, look at first. He's ready. Pitches. Strike 3, swinging. 3 to pass him. So Lopez strikes out. Second strikeout for Peterson. Runners remaining at first and third. And here's Ed Kirkpatrick, who has not been up. He was not in the starting batting order.
Number 8.
Left-hand hitter.
Right fielder, Ed Kirkpatrick.
Cardinal, in the 9th inning last evening, hurt his foot. Rigney wanted very much to have him in there to get an extra right-handed bat. But Joe told you when he ran down to first base, well, trotted to first base, limped to first base the first inning. That was enough for Rigney. He said, all right, you're done. Pitch, curve inside to Kirkpatrick, 4 ball 1. Yankees at the infield, double play depth. Outfielder stepping to right. Left-hander delivers, and there's a high pop fly. Here is shortstop Clark, right at second base, making the catch. And we have 2 down.
Jay Johnstone.
As a former manager of
Center field.
Joe's at Pittsburgh, Billy Meyer would say, Peterson right now is reaching back for that good stuff. Single. The double play ball was booted for an error at short. And all of a sudden, Fritz had decided he'd better be his own best friend. And he struck out Lopez, gotten Kirkpatrick on a high pop fly. And now here is Jay Johnstone, rookie left-hand hitting outfielder. Fastball is into his hand, ball 1. It is 2-0 in favor of the Yankees. Peterson, who recently lost 2 1-0 ball games back-to-back, he's allergic to letting them score if he can help it. Ready? Delivers. A ball is hit out to left field. Tresh coming over to the line, coming to the line, and makes the catch on the run. So Tresh makes a good running catch coming through the foul line, and Peterson pitches right out of the trouble. No runs, 1 hit. 2 men left, 1 error. And at the end of 3 here at Anaheim Stadium, the Yankees are leading 2-0. And Joe, who else is leading who?
Well, the Detroit Tigers and the White Sox, Red, were tied at the end of 9, but Norm Cash has hit a home run in the 10th, nobody on. Willie Horton has hit a home run in the 10th, nobody on. And so the Tigers lead the Chicago White Sox by at least 7-5.
Okay, Joe. And here is the Yankees' bright new young man, Steve Whitaker. Hit a fly ball to right field, second inning. Takes a curve from Marcelino Lopez, low outside, ball 1. It is 2-0 in favor of New York. A ground ball to first. Adcock up with it. Stepped on the bag, and Whitaker's out. 1 away here in the 4th.
Elston Howard.
Elston Howard, who was thrown out from 3rd in the 2nd inning. Right-hand batter, as you know. Howard visiting with his opposite number, Bob Rogers, back at the plate. Slow curve, low inside. Ball 1. Jim Hegan is coaching at 3rd. Wally Moses at 1st. Pitch it into the hands, ball 2. Lopez, the left-hander. Rogers catching. The infield is Adcock, Knopf, Fregosi, and Shaw. Fitzpatrick, Jay Johnstone, and Pearsall and Wright coming into this fly ball. High fly ball to the right fielder. Correction, Kirkpatrick in right, Pearsall in left. Now we have 2 down.
Lew Clinton, right field.
Lew Clinton drew a base on balls, and that started the Yankees' 2-run 3rd inning. He was bunted over by Peterson, scored with 2 out on Richardson's clean hit. And then came the errors at short and second, counting for the 2nd run. A foul ball bratted into the dirt, strike 1. 2 out here in the 4th. Lopez, a big fella, delivers and throws it past him, swinging, strike 2. Two out. There's a high foul ball back on the string. 2 strikes. The sign on the bulletin board, the 66 Angels salute Lutheran night. There's a high fly ball popped up. First baseman Adcock got it. So it's a 1-2-3 inning. Score then after 3 1/2. The Yankees 2, Angels nothing. Last of the 4th inning, the last meeting of these 2 teams this year. It's Fregosi, the shortstop, first up for the Angels.
Jim Fregosi.
Then Adcock, and then Rogers. Fritz Peterson going up to his 11th win. He's got a 2-0 lead. First pitch is a high inside curve, ball 1. You could have bet me last night when he got hit that he wouldn't be playing this evening. Curve, low, ball 2. Fregosi wearing the 11 for the Angels. He got a little bandage around his right wrist. Pitches over for a strike. He seemed to take a perverse pride in the fact that you could see the seams of the ball on his cheekbone. He even said you could read Joe Cronin's name. Pitches high outside. Ball 3, 3-1. Peterson has uncanny control. You take a rookie in a left-hand pitch and then you realize this fellow doesn't walk many. Three-one pitch. Swung on and missed. Fastball. 3-2. Peterson's all business. He takes that mound. Fields, as a ground ball, hit the short. Clark up with it. See, throw to first in time. Clark to Pepperton. 1 away. We'll have Adcock up there in a moment, but first we pause for station identification.
Joe Adcock.
Tomorrow morning at 9:15, Jerry Lewis pays a call on the Jack Sterling Show. This is WCBS and WCBS-FM, New York.
Adcock was visiting over at the hotel lobby today with Joe and yours truly, talking about batters getting hit. And he said that he didn't realize it till somebody telephoned him and told him that they'd looked him up and that he'd been hit in his career 82 times. There's a high fly ball into short right field. Richardson going out from second base. Waiting. He has it. So we'll have 2 up, 2 down. Peterson had to really bear down the third inning when he had men at first and third, nobody out because of an error at short on a double play ball.
Bob Rogers.
But he's pitched right on through it.
Catcher.
Here's Rogers, switch hitting catcher, batting right-handed. In case you hear these little musical passages, the organist out here has a little theme song that he plays for each of the Angel batters when they come up. Pitches in for a strike. Some of them I can't figure out. There's a pitch swung on and missed, strike 2. For example, when Pearsall comes up to the plate, he plays T for 2.
I asked him about that, Red. You know why? He comes from Boston. Don't look at me like that.
That's a looper out to Richardson. What a party, Joe. So, Pearsall, all those kids, I couldn't figure T for 2. Anyhow, it's 1, 2, 3, and score after 3 and after 4 innings. The Yankees 2 and the Angels nothing. Friend, in that car of yours making embarrassing scenes in public, giving you sleepless nights, acting up, well, don't worry. Let Flying A worry for you. Flying A service stations are manned by professional warriors, experienced guys who worry about your car instead of the creases in their uniform. Flying A car warriors are trained to worry. Flying A actually has a training course, the Flying A Warrior School, and when a dealer graduates, he's a pro. We've got air filter warriors, crankcase warriors, transmission warriors, warriors who really do the job for every part of your car from the roof line right down to the road. In fact, the only time we don't worry about your car at Flying A is when we're filling it with our great new hydrogen-treated gasoline. Don't have to worry then. That Flying A is already worried to perfection. So listen, save yourself the sleepless nights, yeah? Bring your car into Flying A, where we always say, when it comes to your car, who do we worry? In the 5th inning, with the Yankees leading 2-0, it will be Peterson to lead it off, Clark, and then Richardson. Peterson to come up hitting right-handed. He's had his one fling this year hitting left-handed. He had to do that once.
Fritz Peterson.
He did when he was leading 8-1. Swings and misses at the curve. Strike 1. The totals are 2-2-1 for New York. 0-1-2 for the Angels, California Angels. A base hit into left field. He stepped up on a curve and hit it into left. And let me see something. For Fritz, that's his 11th hit as he's gunning for his 11th win. Single to left. Hit number 3 for New York.
Morris Clark.
Moving in on the next microphone is Jerry Coleman, who's had 2 distinguished days out here. He's had 2 of his baseball clinics. Yesterday, he had Hamilton and Richardson, and today he had, who did he have today besides Howard?
Stottlemyre and Tommy Tresh, Red, and we had a fine time.
He went for talent, huh?
We loaded them. We out-dazzled them.
Well, Jerry has done an excellent job with his clinics. When you hear about him next year, all of you folks, you be ready for him. Peterson leads all Yankee pitchers now in hits. He's got 11, told you. Standing down at first. Horace Clark, batting right-handed. took inside, ball 2. Lopez, big left-hander, delivers, and Clark swinging, hits a high foul close to the first base dugout and behind it. Out of play. That's the dugout used by the visiting teams. Yankees tonight, the Senators tomorrow. Most of the Washington ball clubs here tonight looking on. They had an open day, so they usually were flying in. They checked into the hotel about 3:30 or 4 this afternoon. All right, 2 balls, 1 strike. Lopez delivers, and Clark swings as the fly ball straight away to center. Johnstone waiting. Young man has it, and they have 1 away. Richardson single with 2 out in the 3rd.
Bobby Richardson.
He hadn't gotten that base hit.
Second base.
In other words, as they say, if he'd made out, we'd have a no-score game. He got the base hit. The Yankees lead 2-0. Bobby, of course, is greatly embarrassed by the premature break about his plans. As the ground ball to 3rd. Shaw goes to first base. Richardson is out. Peterson moved on to second. It was a high, slow bounder. There was no chance for the lead runner. So Bobby's out 5-3. Peterson halfway round, 2 down. And here's Boyer, who's in the 3rd slot tonight.
Third base.
Bounced to 3rd, and he hit the ball, which went through the shortstop for an error in the 3rd inning. One of the big plays leading to the Yankees' 2nd run. Two-0 New York. The ground ball is hit too short. Rigosi to first to Adcock, and that is the 3rd out. No runs, 1 hit. Peterson's 11th hit of the year. So after 4.5 innings out here on the Pacific Coast, the score, the Yankees 2 and the Angels nothing. In case you got in with us, didn't know about the other ball games, Detroit picked up 2 runs in the 10th inning and is leading at Chicago 7-5. Cash and Horton have hit 10th inning home runs. The Tigers, of course, are trying to stave off a drive by the White Sox to root them out of second place. Cleveland beat Baltimore 4-1. In that tight National League race, the Mets with Rybert beat San Francisco 2-1. And in 10 innings, the Dodgers won in Pittsburgh 4-3. Philadelphia beat Houston 3-1. At the end of 8 innings, it is the Chicago Cubs 9, Cincinnati Reds 3. And the final, St. Louis won at home, beating the Braves 7-4. And now here's Phil Rizzuto, and Phil and Jerry will carry you folks right on down across the wire.
All right, Red. The Yankees leading 2-0 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Bobby Knopp will lead off. Bobby bounced to the second baseman in the 2nd inning. Fritz Peterson taking time out, now got a pebble in his shoe. You know, Jerry, it always amazed me, and it happens so often, how you can get a pebble in your shoe.
You know, and even more so now, Phil, because most of the new spikes that they're putting out have the elastic band around the top that go from the front of the shoe all the way around the heel and coming around the other side. And, you know, you really need a shoehorn to get a pebble in there.
But they are very uncomfortable, because we told you many times spike shoes are almost like slippers. And you can feel anything inside that shoe that shouldn't be there. Fritz Peterson has allowed just 1 base hit in the first 4 innings.
Bobby Knopp, second base.
The cool of the evening out here in Anaheim, California. One thing you got to say for this part of the country. Cool every night. All right, Bobby Knopp steps in.
Fritz Peterson gets the sign from Elston Howard. The left-hander winds, delivers. The pitch is low. Ball 1. Paul Shaw on deck. Very little wind blowing tonight. Flag just about hanging limp. Curve high and outside. Ball 2, 2-0. Knopp, a right-hand batter. He started off real strong. Elected the All-Star second baseman in the American League. Right now he's down to 222. Takes a strike on the outside corner. Horace Clark playing right on the edge of the outfield grass at shortstop. 2-1 pitch is hit down the right field line, curving foul and going back into the stands and out of play. And then bouncing right out in Lou Clinton's hands. Couldn't do that again if he tried in 100 years. Right off the seat and into his glove. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Knopp gets the pine tar rag from the bat boy. The Angels made 2 errors in the 3rd inning. That helped the Yankees score. One came in on Bobby Richardson, single to left. Nobody out, nobody on here in the bottom of the 5th. Peterson with a long look in at Elston Howard's sign. Now he's ready. His 2-2 pitch is fouled out of play. Back into the crowd. In the second level. Peterson ready again. His curve way high and outside. Full count, 3-2. Peterson has not walked any Angel as yet. Now the left-hander ready for the payoff pitch. Here it is, and it's fouled again back into the crowd and out of play. And again, Bobby Knopp wants the pine tar rag. Knopp having a little trouble getting a good grip on his bat handle. Fritz Peterson, he's won 10 and lost 9 this year. The pitch is a ground ball. Clark can't get it. It's by him in the center field. Knopp makes a wide turn at first base and then comes back. So that's the second hit for the Angels. Here's Paul Shaw, who has the other base hit, a line single to left field.
Paul Shaw, third base.
On deck, Jimmy Pearsall. Pepitone holding first against Knopp. And the go sign is up on the scoreboard. Now Pepitone moves in back of the runner at first base. Peterson's pitch is fouled back out of play into the crowd. And now Pepitone, for the 3rd time, has switched. He's holding the bag against Knopp. Stretch by Peterson. Pitch is outside, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Yankees leading 2-0. Knopf leads off first. 1-1 pitch is high, ball 2, 2-1. Howard now rubbing the ball up, trying to slow Peterson down a little bit. They get the runner at second base. Safe at first is Shaw, and here's Jimmy Pearsall, who reached on an error by Clark in the third inning.
Left field.
Jimmy got his 1600th hit. 1600th hit last night. Jimmy's a pretty good hit and run man, although with the pitcher coming up next, doubtful they'll put it on. Shaw with a short lead at first. Throw over there by Peterson, and he's back in plenty of time. Outfield plays Jimmy straight away. Again, Peterson ready. His pitch is high, ball 1. On deck, Marcelino Lopez. Shaw leading away. The pitch is fouled back, and it nicked Howard right on the mask. Ellie takes the mask off, checks it. It's a 1-1 count. Peterson rubbing up the new ball. The Angels hitting a lot of foul balls off Peterson. .333 down each foul line. 406 in dead center. Peterson ready for the 1-1 delivery. Here it is, and it's a ground ball hit to Boyer. He's got it to Richardson for 1. Back to first. Double play. A hard hit ball right at Clete Boyer around the horn. For the Angels, no runs, 1 hit, no Yankee errors, nobody left, and at the end of 5, it's the Yankees 2, the Angels nothing. Crew is smoothing down the infield. Well, we got a moment, another look at the scores. The Tigers beat the White Sox 7 of 5 in 10 innings. The throw, not in time, and he beat it out. A beautiful drag bunt by Joe Pepitone. For Joe's second base hit, Joe had singled to left center in the second inning, reached on an error in the third, and now beats out a bunt single to Joe Adcock. And the batter now, Tommy Tresh. Tommy flying to right in the second inning, struck out in the third.
Left field.
The Yankees leading 2-0 in the top of the 6th inning. Pepitone's first time at bat, he tried to bunt his first 2 pitches before he singled. The pitch to Tresh, a ground foul outside of third, strike 1. Joe Pepitone now with 133 base hits, second to Bobby Richardson. Bobby has 146. Joe Adcock holds first against Pepitone. The stretch by Lopez. The ball is hit high and deep to left center field, way back there. That ball is way out of this Big A ballpark, bouncing way back there. Man, I tell you, he really hit that. And Tresh better slow down. He's going to pass Pepitone. A 2-run homer for Tommy Tresh, his 21st of the year. Tommy now has 57 runs batted in, and the Yankees lead 4-0. And they're sending a scooter out there to get that ball. And, Jerry, look where that ball rolled to.
That's sort of a hard asphalt or a very hard ground out there. And when it hits, it just keeps going. It's like concrete.
Uh-huh. Haven't been that far out yet, but that ball really rolled a long ways. The Yankees lead 4-0. Steve Whitaker takes the ball on the first pitch thrown by Lopez. Whitaker flying to right in the second inning, bounced out to first in the fourth. Swing and a miss, strike 1, 1-1. That ball went over the 300 and 93-foot sign, and way out there. Check swing, ground ball to third. Shaw up with it. Fires to first in time to get Whitaker. Squibbed it right off the end of the bat. Brings up Elston Howard. Ellie bounced to third in the second inning, flying to right field in the fourth.
Howard, catcher.
Lew Burdette and Jose Lopez warming up in the Angel bullpen as Howard takes the pitch high and outside. Ball one. The next pitch to Howard, swing and a miss. 1-1. Marcelino Lopez 0-6 against the Yankees. There's a bouncer to the shortstop. Fregosi on the big hop. Fires to first in time, and it's 2 away. So Marcelino Lopez has yet to beat the Yankees in his big league career, as we told you, 0-6. Here's Lew Clinton, walked and scored in the third inning. Popped to first base in the fourth. 2 out, nobody on. The Yankees lead 4-0. Pitch to Clinton is a strike on the outside corner. Marcelino Lopez is scheduled to be the first batter in the bottom of the sixth for the Angels. Changeup hit deep to left, but foul, way back in the seats. 0-2. Mad scramble on for the ball down there. Pitch to Clinton. He checks his swing on a low curve. It rolls back to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Lopez wants still another baseball. Didn't like the feel of that one. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Curve hit high in the air to center field. Jay Johnstone pounding the glove and makes the catch. But the Yankees come up with 2 runs on 2 hits. No Angel errors, nobody left. And at the end of 5.5, it's the Yankees 4, the Angels nothing.
Well, you know, Scooter, the Yankees take off for Minnesota tonight, where they play a night game tomorrow evening, and then they have a day and a night game on Saturday. Sunday afternoon, a single game.
It looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter for Marcelino Lopez. This is the new fella that the Angels have just brought up. He's a catcher. Tom Egan. And this will be his first time at bat for the Angels this year.
Your attention, please. For the Angels.
So Egan will bat for Lopez.
Batting for Lopez, number 30, Tom Egan.
He's from Los Angeles, 6'4" and 218 pounds. The first pitch by Peterson is high, ball 1.
Phil, I got very close to this young fella during batting practice, and for a moment I thought Rick Reichert was back with the ball club. They resemble each other very much.
Boy, he is built well. Right-hand batter, and Peterson's pitch is fouled over towards the Angel dugout, 1-1. He was just 20 years old this past June the 9th. So this could be another bright prospect for the Angels. He was one of the most highly sought-after youngsters the year the Angels signed him. Takes a strike on the inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He was with the Angels briefly last year. The windup by Peterson. Change up, strike 3, swinging. Beautiful pitch. And as we await Ed Kirkpatrick, a reminder, this is New York Yankee baseball, so let's pause for station identification.
The Jack Sterling Show will be wild not after Jerry Lewis shows up in person tomorrow morning, 9:15. on WCBS and WCBS-FM New York.
Ed Kirkpatrick, who went in to play for Jose Cardinal. Cardinal played left field the first inning and batted in the bottom of the first, but he has a bad leg, so he had to come out of there. As a ground ball to second base, Richardson on the big hop. Easy play. Flips to Pepitone, 2 out. And the batter, Jay Johnstone, struck out in the first, flying to left in the third.
Jay Johnstone, center field.
Johnstone, a left-hand batter. The Yankees lead 4-0. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Peterson's curve, low and outside, ball 1. The next pitch, a bunt attempt, is fouled back. He was trying to drag one by the pitcher, as Pepitone did last inning. Fritz Peterson has allowed only 3 runs in his last 29 2/3 innings of pitching. That includes the 5 2/3 innings he's pitched tonight. There's a strike over the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And 2 out, nobody on. On deck, Jim Fregosi. There's a sidearm curve, and it's inside, 2-2. The windup by Peterson. A ball lined to left field. Tommy Tresh coming on fast. He dives, and he got it. No, he dropped it. The umpire called him out, and as Tresh rolled on the ground, the ball just slipped out of his glove. It was a beautiful try by Tresh, who slid in on his knees, the way Hank Bauer and Enos Slaughter used to come in. He had the ball. The umpire called him out, and then the ball just trickled out of his glove. So it goes as a base hit for Johnstone. And here's Jim Fregosi, fly to right in the first, bounce to short in the 4th. And it's good to see Fregosi back playing. He was really hit by a pitch ball thrown by Al Downing. Swing and a miss, strike 1. So Fregosi did not sustain a fracture last night when he was hit on the jaw by Downing. 2 men are out. Change up, he held up, and it's a little low, 1-1. Yankees lead 4-0. The bottom of the 6th with 2 out. Fregosi batting .233. Peterson's pitch is hit high in the air to short right field. Clinton coming in hard, digging hard, loses his hat but makes the catch for the 3rd out. Ball fooled Clinton momentarily. For the Angels, no run, 1 hit, no Yankee errors, 1 man left. And at the end of 6, it's the Yankees 4, the Angels nothing. Well, Wally pitched just 1 inning. Then he went over to San Francisco and then Boston. And then Boston became Milwaukee. He was with them till 63, went to St. Louis, then the Cubs, then the Phillies, now with the Angels. Fritz Peterson leading off has a count of 1 ball, 1 strike on him. Peterson sacrificed in the 3rd and single to left field in the 5th. That's right, Jerry Coleman just reminded me, Lew Burdette won his 200th Major League victory at Yankee Stadium. I remember how they all congratulated Lew. There's a line drive, and Fragosi's got it. The throw to first, he's safe. It pulled Adcock off the bag. What a play Fregosi made on a ball looked like it was definitely headed for center field. Took a short hop Fregosi got it. He had it turned completely around, and the throw pulled Adcock off the bag. It's an infield single. Big stretch by Joe Adcock, but the throw just pulled his foot off the bag. It goes as a base hit. So Peterson is now 2 for 2. And let's see, I believe he has the most hits of any Yankee pitcher right now. Peterson with 12 base hits. Yes, he does.
Shortstop.
Horace Clark, the batter. Horace 0 for 3. Bounces short in the first, fly to center in the third and fifth inning. The pitch to Clark is popped up in his short center. Going back is Fregosi, the shortstop. He's under it, and he's got it. One away. Brings up Bobby Richardson. Bobby bounces short in the first inning. Single left to drive in a run in the third inning and later scored, and then bounced to third in the fifth inning. Yankees leading 4-0.
Bobby Richardson, second base.
Lew Burdette got a good sinker, an occasional spitter, good control. Adcock holds first against Peterson. The pitch to Bobby is inside, ball 1. The stretch by Burdette. His pitch is on the outside corner. Good sidearm breaking pitch, 1-1. Beat the Yankees in the 1957 World Series. Won 3 games and lost none. And all 3 games were complete games by Burdette. The pitch is inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. And now Burdette wants a new baseball. On deck, Clete Boyer. Of the 17 games played so far between these two teams, Yankees have won only 6. The runner's going, and the ball is hit foul on the third base line. Jim Hegan up with it in the coaching box. So Peterson back to first base. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count on Richardson. Burdette in relief of Marcelino Lopez. Lew is another one of those fidgety pitches out on the mound. He sets, delivers a ball line to left field, and curving foul. Count holds at 2-2. One man out here in the top of the 7th. Stretch by Burdette. The pitch is hit down the right field line. Kirkpatrick moving to his left. In foul territory, makes a nice running catch. And it's 2 away. That'll bring up Boyer. Cleats 0 for 3. Bounced to third in the first inning. Reached on an error in the third and bounced to the shortstop in the 5th.
Clete Boyer, third base.
Burdette taking plenty of time out on the mound. The right-hander sets. The pitch is hit high in the air to left field. Pounding the glove, Jimmy Pearsall, and making the catch. So Burdette does the job. No runs, 1 hit. No Angel errors, 1 man left. The end of 6 1/2. The Yankees 4, the Angels nothing. Just finished playing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. The Angels fans up for the lucky 7th inning stretch. And here to carry you along the rest of the way in this ball game, Jerry Coleman.
Okay, Phil, and coming up right now, the big first baseman, the veteran first sacker, Joe Adcock, who on the night is 0 for 2. He flied to center and popped to second. Last night, Joe Adcock hit one of the lowest home runs you'll ever see in any park. A ball that actually took off like a golf ball and just skimmed the left field fence. Big, strong first baseman. Been a great man with that bat, a power hitter all of his career. Adcock, who has not played too much, he's been up only 201 times and has 16 home runs with 42 RBIs. Batting at .285. Powerful right-hand hitter facing Fritz Peterson, who has been the Yankees' best pitcher in recent weeks. He has really been solid on the mound. Allowed only 3 runs in his last 24 innings over 3 games, and a curveball is in there for a strike. Peterson leading in this one 4-0. Yankees with 6 base hits, 1 error. The Angels have only 3 base hits and 2 errors. 4-0 Yankees lead. There's a dribbler toward the Angel dugout and into the Angel dugout. Joe Adcock leading off the bottom of the 7th inning. On deck, Bob Rogers, and he'll be followed by Bobby Knopf. Looks like we have a crowd tonight quite similar to the one we had last evening, which numbered 21,000. Defense way back there. Clark is on the grass for Adcock, as is Bobby Richardson, and the fastball is way outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Boyer at third base, deep and guarding the line. Clark very deep and on the grass at short. Richardson back and on the grass at second. Pepitone deep at first. There's a changeup that's tying outside as Ellie Howard has to reach for it. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tommy Tresh deep in left field. In center, Whitaker is way back there, and Clinton the same in right. Joe Adcock, veteran first baseman, holds the bat right on the end, stoops a little at the hips. Here's the pitch. Ground ball in the hole. Clark backhands it way back on the grass. The throw is in the dirt, and Pepitone can't come up with it. A nice try by Joe Pepitone. And they're giving Joe Adcock an infield single, and that's the 4th hit off Fritz Peterson. Had that throw been high enough, Adcock was out, but the long throw by Horace Clark bounced about 10 feet in front of Pepitone, who made the sweep at it and couldn't come up with it. Now here's Bob Rogers, the switch-hitting catcher, who's 0 for 2, bounced to short and popped to second. Defense moved in now for a possible DP. Peterson delivers, and Rogers fouls one down the right field side into the stands. That ball went way down there. Final game of the year between the Yankees and the Angels, and on the season, California has a commanding lead. They have won 11 of the 17 games played. So if the Yankees can hang on, the season will end at 7-11. If they lose it, it'll be 6-12. Fritz Peterson now out in front, 4-0. The rookie left-hander sets. Here's the pitch to Rogers, high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Joe Adcock stays at the same hotel that the Yankees stay at here in Anaheim, the Crest Hotel. And there was quite a skull session going on in the lobby with Adcock right in it, along with several of the Yankees. The 1-1 pitch to Rogers. Swings and misses, strike 2. In fact, Fred Haney, the general manager of the Angels, spends some time there because it's so convenient to the ballpark, and Bill Rigney stays there, the Angel manager. Peterson with a 1-2 count on Bob Rogers. Nobody out. Adcock at first, taking the lead. Pepitone playing behind him. Fritz delivers, and there's a 1-hopper to Clark. He's got it. Flips to Richardson. Throw to first, double play. Now, that was one of those plays that was a do or die, and it was a nice grab by Horace Clark to start the double play. A bullet on a half hop.
Bobby Knopf.
Well, I tell you, Phil, when you say do or die, Jerry, that's exactly what it is. And As you notice, Clark turned his head to the right because there's not much you can do. If it takes a bad hop, it'll hit you between the eyes. You know where the ball's going to be, so you turn your head and just put your glove there, hoping it's going to go in.
And it did. So Fritz Peterson gets a break as Horace Clark comes up with a dandy to start the double play. We have 2 out, nobody on. And here's Bobby Knopp, the second baseman. Takes right on the outside corner for a strike. Knopp bounced to second, single to center. Peterson has given up 4 base hits, all singles. Here's the next one to Knopp, inside this time. 1 ball and 1 strike. Paul Shaw got the first base hit for the Angels in the 3rd inning. The second one was picked up by Knopp in the 5th. Johnstone got one in the 6th, and Adcock the infield single here in the 7th. So 1-1 count to Bobby Knopp, all-star second baseman for the American League. Average is sunk, but he still plays fine defensive baseball. This one is fouled back off to our right, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes on Bobby Knopp. Del Rice coaches at third base for California, and Salty Parker does the job at first. Temperature just at 70 degrees. And in New York, just about 1/4 to 1. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Knopp. Ground ball. Clark has it in the hole. The long throw to Pepitone. The side is retired. No runs on 1 hit, nobody left, and the score after 7 innings of play. Yankees 4 runs, 6 hits. The Angels no runs on 4 hits.
Say you've probably got some Winnicek halves lying around at home or in the glove compartment of the car. Well, get them all out and look them over, because now Flying A is playing new Super Winnicek with 115,000 new prizes, 225,000 in all. New Super Winnicek is played the same way as Winnicek, except that when you match 2 Winnicek halves for $100, Flying A will give you $200. When you match 2 halves for $500, you'll get $1,000. It's as easy as trotting down to first after being walked on 4 straight. Drive in any Flying A dealer displaying a Winnicek sign, and he'll give you an envelope with half of a Winnicek. Match 2 halves, and you've won $1, $5, $25, just like before. But win $100, and you've got $200. Win $500, and Flying A will give you $1,000. Winnicek halves are worth a lot more now, with new Super Winnicek up to $1,000. See your Flying A dealer. That's where they say, when it comes to your car, ooh, do we worry.
And the Dodgers 4, the Pirates 3.
Well, the roar that you just heard here came after the announcement of the scores in the National League to the crowd here. They mentioned that the Mets had beaten the Giants 2-1, which drew a big resounding cheer, and that the Dodgers had beaten the Pirates 4-3 in 10 innings, another big cheer. For the Yankees, as we go into the 8th inning, it'll be Pepitone, Tresh, and Whitaker facing Lew Burdette. Burdette, the right-hand veteran, delivers, and Pepitone takes it for a strike, and he is walking in circles, and the crowd is on him. Ed Runge, the plate umpire, raising the right hand. Yanks 4, California nothing. Lew Burdette in relief of Marcelino Lopez, who went the first 6 innings. Screwball way outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Lopez pitched the first 6, gave up 5 hits, walked 1, struck out 1, and allowed 4 runs. They almost play the overshift on Pepitone. Burdette delivers, and Pepe swings and fouls it back. Strike 2. I'll tell you, I don't know how he does it, but wherever Pepitone goes, the crowd immediately reacts. All he has to do is poke his head out of the dugout, and you can hear them. Pepitone has had that sore left index finger and the sore right wrist been taped. Of course, the pictures that you saw in your New York paper of Jimmy Pearsall with all the towels wrapped around his hands were also printed out here in Los Angeles. Here's the 1-2 delivery to Pepe. Hit deep to right field. Way back there. Curving. Is it fair or foul? Just foul. Joe Pepitone, who's got 30 home runs on the year, very nearly made it 31. That's fastball, about 6 feet foul, way down the line and right. Pepitone, who leads the Yankees in the three most important offensive departments, runs scored at 76, home runs at 30, and RBIs at 75. He's 2 for 3 in tonight's ball game. Single to left, a bunt single, safe on an error. Takes outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2-2 the count. The Yankees leading 4-0, top of the 8th inning. Peterson all the way for the Yankees. Marcelino Lopez for 6 innings, and Burdette in the 7th, and again here in the 8th. There's a foul off to the left, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. The giant A-frame tonight has been working overtime. In fact, with each successive series that the Yankees have played out here, the scoreboard has been more active, and I think, like a new toy, they're learning to do more things with it. They get the big charge out there and clap, clap, and a go-go sign, and they got everything going. There's a high drive to straightaway center field, way back there. Johnstone near the fence, under it, and he's got it. That ball was hit 400 feet. Jay Johnstone, standing right in front of the 406 marker, put it away. Oh, there's 1 up and 1 down, and here's Tommy Tresh, who's had the big blow of the night for the Yankees, a 2-run homer in the 6th. For Tommy, that was home run number 21. Tonight's paid attendance, 21,254, almost matched last night's. Total 23065, including servicemen. Tommy Tresh takes outside a screwball. It was way off the plate, and it's ball 1. Lew Burdette has one of the best right-hand screwballs in the business. And it's unusual because very few right-handers throw a screwball. It's usually the left-handers that come up with that pitch. The 1-0 delivery, and it's called strike 1, 1-1. Phil, who was the fellow that the Yankees brought up in 1950 with a screwball from Oakland?
Buxton.
Ralph Buxton.
Boy, he had one that broke like a curveball, didn't he? It was a dandy.
He had a left-hander's curveball. And he was most effective against left-hand hitters.
That's right.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Tresh, way up there, 2 balls and a strike. Who besides Burdette and Buxton, right-handers, had a screwball, Phil? Can you recall?
Let's see. I
sure
know that
many of them.
not too many. That Jack Aker throws something, but I don't think it's a screwball.
Russ Meyer?
Oh, I thought you meant of the present-day pitches.
Well, I'll take anybody, but Russ Meyer didn't. Did he have the big screwball? Yeah,
he
the big
had
motion.
one. It wasn't as effective as some of the others, like Burdette's are.
Besides, he was in the National League. 3 balls and 1 strike. Here's Tommy Tresh. Hits it deep to center field, on a line, going back, Jay Johnstone. He's got it. That ball was well hit, but right to the center fielder. Young Steve Whitaker, who's off to a sensational start, but has been held in check tonight. Flied to right, bounced to first, and bounced to third. Whitaker came into this game with 12 base hits, 7 of them for extra bases, 2 doubles, 2 triples, 3 home runs, and 7 RBIs. Fine young prospect, just up from Toledo. He has jumped and leaps and bounds this year. Fouls this one back on the screen. A good cut. He's got a solid cut at a fastball. He's going to have to learn to handle breaking pitches and change of speeds. But he can hit that fastball. Strike 1, the count to Whitaker. Whitaker started the season in Double-A, went to Triple-A, and ended up with a big club. Lew Burdette to Whitaker. The screwball outside as he swings and misses. Strike 2. He went after a pitch that was off the plate. Steve Whitaker has the same problem that the pitchers have. He has to learn them, and they have to learn him. And now that he knows that Burdette has that pitch, he'll be able to follow it better the next time. It's about an even break. You know, they say the pitchers learn the hitters, but the hitters learn the pitchers. Here's a 2-strike delivery, a ground ball to Bobby Knopp at second. 2 big hops over to Joe Adcock, and the Yankees are out of there here in the 8th inning. 3 up and 3 down. The score after 7.5. Yankees 4, Angels nothing.
But Jerry, quickly we were talking about fellas like Burdette. Another fella comes to mind is Spud Chandler, who had a pretty good sinker. It wasn't really a screwball. But you know what? I keep thinking of these sidearm right-handers. They seem to last a lot longer than fellas that throw overhand. Fellas like Bobo Newsom and Steve Gromek. For some reason or other, it's a much smoother delivery, and I guess there's not as much effort.
Well, the one that I remember, and of course got me when I was young and just coming up in the big leagues, was Sid Hudson.
Oh, well, he was tough. Because not only was he sidearm, but he had that ball that would come in on your fist.
I'll tell you, anybody that broke a ball in on my fist always won the nod.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that's one of the toughest pitches, along with the low outside curveball.
And you always were Mike Garcia's little Bobo.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we're going into the bottom of the 8th inning. And coming to the plate for the California Angels, Paul Shaw, Jimmy Pearsall, and Lew Burdette is a scheduled hitter, but I'm sure they'll have a pinch hitter. Leading right now by 4 big runs, the Yankees and Fritz Peterson. 4-0 ball game as Paul Shaw comes to the plate. Shaw is 1 for 2 tonight. Shaw has done a wonderful job coming off of the rugged year last season where he batted only about 220. He's had his average up to 250 and batting right now about 248 as he takes a curveball in there for a strike. Peterson out in front, 4-0. He's pitched 4 outstanding ball games, giving up only 3 runs in his last 24 innings before tonight. And you can just pack on 7 more, and that makes 31 as it stands right now. 1-1 the count to Paul Shaw. Peterson ready again. The left-hander to Shaw. This one on the outside corner. Strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jim Bouton flew ahead to Minnesota, and he'll be pitching the game tomorrow night from the Twin Cities. Yankees leaving right after the ball game. It's going to be an all-night flight. The 1-2 delivery, and Shaw swings and misses, strike 3, and that is strikeout number 4 for Fritz Peterson. Minnie Rojas and Bob Lee are warming up
Left field.
in the Angel bullpen as Jimmy Pearsall comes on. Pearsall safe on an error by Horace Clark in the 3rd, bounced into a double play in the 4th. Yankees leading 4-0. So far, they have won 1 and lost 2 on this road trip. They split a pair in Kansas City. They lost last night 5-2 to the Angels, but out in front right now, 4-0. With 1 out, Pearsall the hitter in the bottom of the 8th. The first pitch to Jimmy is high, and there's Frank Malzone moving out into the on-deck circle, so he'll be batting for Lew Burdette. Bill Rigney has a ball club here of very young youngsters and very old oldsters. Malzone among the older group. Adcock, Malzone, Pearsall, Burdette, all with plenty of age. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Jimmy Pearsall outside, ball 2, 2-0. We also asked Bill Rigney about Albie Pearson, if you recall, who was sidelined for the year and seems to be making progress. And from all indications, little Albie will be in spring training with the Angels next year trying to make the ball club. It'll be tough, though, at his age to come back after 1 complete year of inactivity, and that's just about the way it shapes up. Fritz Peterson, 2-0 on Jimmy Pearsall. Hasn't walked a batter in the ball game. Peterson ready again, delivers, and it's in there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Fritz Peterson, for a left-hander and for a rookie, has remarkable control. Giving up only 29 base on balls. There's a 1-hopper to Boyer at 3rd, flips to Joe Pepitone, And we have 2 down. The play going from 5-3. This is New York Yankee baseball. We pause for station identification.
After the game comes the music. Music till dawn on WCBS and WCBS-FM, New York.
Your attention, please. For the Angels. Batting for Burdette. Number 50.
We mentioned about Fritz Peterson walking only 29 batters, and that's in 177 innings pitched. And that's some kind of a record for a first-year left-hand rookie. Here's Frank Malzone coming on for Lew Burdette. Malzone, the veteran who was picked up by the Angels after a long career with the Boston Red Sox. Breaks his bat, a ground ball to Clark at short, is up with it. Flips over to Pepitone just in time, almost lost the play. Took one step too many, and Malzone very nearly beat it out. So it's 3 up and 3 down on the score after 8. The Yankees 4, the Angels nothing.
Valentine's got the flavor that says, hey friend, do it again. Valentine beer. Hey friend, do it
Hey,
again.
friends, you like draft beer, wet and foamy right out of the tap? Then you'll love this news from Valentine. Now you can get famous Valentine draft beer, the best around, in bottles and cans. And what a draft it is. Gives you that genuine brewed for the barrel flavor every time. When the draft is Valentine, the taste is genuine. Open an ice-cold Valentine draft beer and see for yourself. Look at that rich, creamy head and taste that smooth, mellow flavor. It tastes like it just came out of the tap. It's the next best thing to being in a tavern. So enjoy genuine Valentine draft beer right at home. Pick up a 6-package of Friendly Tavern or wherever you buy beer. Remember, when the draft is Valentine, the taste is genuine.
Well, we've got a new pitcher coming in, number 25, to replace Lew Burdette. Jose Lopez. And I believe this is the first time that we've seen this youngster in action. Marcelino Lopez started the ball game. Went the first 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, walked 1, struck out 1, allowed 4 runs. Burdette came on, pitched 2 innings, gave up 1 hit, and no runs. And now here is Jose Lopez, although the official announcement came out as Ramon Lopez, and yet he's listed as Jose. So I'm going to call him Jose. Jose Lopez. There we are. It's only his 3rd ball game. Had 1 start. He's 0-1. Pitched 3 innings. I'm not going to tell you what his earned run average is, because he's just getting underway. Jose Lopez, right-hander, taking his warm-up tosses, and he'll be pitching to Ellie Howard, Lou Clinton, and Fritz Peterson. Top of the 9th inning, Yankees leading 4-0.
The batter, Elston Howard. Catcher,
Ellie Howard coming on is 0 for 3. Bounced to third, short, and fly to right. First pitch by Lopez is fouled off to the left and toward the Angel dugout. Strike 1. Jose Lopez, I tell you, he's another one of those ball players that have been brought up here by the Angels. Have done quite a job, and the Angels have a lot of fine young prospects that suddenly have materialized from nowhere. We're trying to get some background on this youngster, Jose Lopez. He's a right-hander. Looks to be a pretty solid build. 1 ball, 1 strike on Ellie Howard. Nobody out, nobody on. 9th inning, Yankees leading 4-0. Lopez to Howard. He swings and misses at a curveball, and it's strike 2. I take it back. It's strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Wasn't it strike 2?
I'm sure he fouled 1 pitch off, but
Sure
we'll
he
wait
did.
and see.
The board has left us. Strike 3. It was strike 2. Well, I second-guessed myself and lost. So Jose Lopez strikes out Ellie Howard here in the top of the 9th inning. That's only the second Yankee to strike out in the ballgame. Trush struck out in the third. Now here's Lew Clinton, who walked, popped to first, and flied to center. Last year, Lopez pitched for Monterrey in the Mexican League. Had a record of 17 and 18. That's a lot of decisions, 35 of them. Had a 2.50 earned run average. Something's crazy. He did it in 47 innings. That's a misprint, obviously. Clinton takes this one outside. It's 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Well, more information coming in on both sides now. Jose Ramon Lopez prefers to be called Ramon. Has no nickname. Born May the 26th, 1937 in Cuba. Fastball on the inside corner for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. And he is 29 years old. 6 feet tall, 185 pounds, purchased by the Angels from Monterrey on August the 9th, 1966. Struck out 309 men in Monterrey. There's a hopper that is booted by Paul Shaw, and safe at first base is Lew Clinton. Yankees are leading 4-0, and they're charging Shaw with an error. That's the third error by the Angels tonight. They made a pair in the third inning.
Fritz Peterson.
Ramon Lopez struck out 309 men in 270 innings pitched. Had only 96 base on balls. So he's a workhorse. Pitched a lot of innings the last 3 years, all of them with Monterrey. 1958, played in the Rookie League in Nebraska with North Platte. There's a drive to right field. Nice pickup by Bobby Knopf. Flips to Lopez, who drops the ball at first base. And they had Peterson out of there. And fine play by Knopf, racing into the gap toward right field, coming up with the ball and flipping it to Lopez, who dropped the ball, and they're charging him with an error. So there's 2 errors in this inning by the California Angels, one by the third baseman, now this one by the pitcher. The Yankees have runners at first and second with 1 out, and here's Horace Clarke, who's 0 for 4. Horace will be batting from the left side against the right-hander, Ramon Lopez. Lopez sets. Here's the delivery, and it's inside. A wild pitch, and moving up a base. Clinton going to third, Whitaker to second. And they're charging Lopez with a wild pitch as both runners advance. One away here. Yankees leading 4-0. We're in the top of the 9th inning. Final game of the year between the Angels and the Yanks here at Anaheim, or elsewhere for that matter. In fact, we're wrapping up all of the ball clubs each time we see them now. That's about it for the year. Yankees have only 10 more playing dates at the stadium. Angel infield is in. The pitch to Clarke is hit high in the air into center field, not too deep. Coming on now is the center fielder, Jay Johnstone, and tagging up is Clinton. He doesn't go as the throw is right in there, and the runners hold, and Clarke is out. So Horace Clarke, who has managed to get at least 1 hit in a ball game, goes 0 for 5 so far tonight, and that'll bring up Bobby Richardson, who bounced to short, singled to left to drive in the first run of the ball game for the Yankees, bounced to third and flied to right. 2 out, runners at second and third, and Joe Adcock goes in to say something to the young pitcher, or the rookie pitcher, I should say. He's not too young. He's 29 years old. Those 309 strikeouts that he had in the Mexican League at Monterrey are a new league record for that league. Lopez ready. Into the windup. Here's a pitch to Bobby. Fastball is in there. Strike 1. Lew Clinton at third base. Fritz Peterson at second. Yankees, 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. Angels, no runs, 4 hits, and 4 errors. Well, they've bobbled 2 of them in the 3rd, 2 here in the 9th. Lopez to Richardson. It's low this time. 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, and time is called, and it may be a balk. Yes, it is. Jose Lopez balks in a run, and here comes Bill Rigney out to talk to Ed Runge. And Rigney is in one of those confidential huddles right now as Lopez balks in Lew Clinton from 3rd, and moving from 2nd to 3rd is Fritz Peterson, and the Yankees lead 5-0. I'll tell you, we've had more wild ones. The pitch to Bobby right now is low and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Lopez into the windup. Pitches to Richardson. This one in the dirt. Nice stop by Bob Rogers. Slider, but got away from him. The count, 3 balls and 1 strike. In the on-deck circle for the Yankees, Clete Boyer. Ramon Lopez gets the sign into the windup. The 3-1 delivery to Bobby. Hit deep to left field. Going back, Jimmy Pearsall near the running track is under it, and he's got it. So for the Yankees, 1 run. That's scoring on the balk by Jose Lopez. No base hits, 2 errors, 1 man left, and the score after 8.5. The Yankees 5 runs on 6 hits. The Angels no runs on 4.
Valentine's got the flavor that says, hey friend, do it again. Valentine beer. Hey friend, do it again.
Hey, friends, if you're thinking of trying draft beer in bottles or cans, make sure you try the best, genuine Ballantine draft beer. Tastes like it just came out of the tap. And that's why we say, when the draft is Ballantine, the taste is genuine. What a beer. You get that genuine brewed for the barrel flavor every time. It's the next best thing to being in a tavern. Open an ice-cold Ballantine draft and see for yourself. Look at that rich, creamy head and taste that smooth, mellow flavor. It's great with meals, wonderful with snacks, a perfect refresher on these hot summer days. So pick up a 6-pack of genuine Ballantine draft beer at your friendly tavern or wherever you buy beer. Remember, when the draft is Ballantine, the taste is genuine. Okay, we're into the bottom of the 9th inning, and coming on to hit for Ed Kirkpatrick, looks like Norm Siebern is stepping up there. So Ed Kirkpatrick is being moved out of there for another left-hand hitter, Norm Siebern.
Batting for Kirkpatrick, number 16, Norm Siebern.
Yankees 5, Angels nothing. Fritz Peterson working on a shutout. Peterson delivers, and Siebern takes strike 1. There have only been 5 shutouts pitched by the Yankees. Hamilton has 1, Peterson has the other, and Stottlemyre has 3. So Peterson could make it 2 if he can hold on here. Curveball, check swing foul into the Angel dugout, and it's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Siebern, Jay Johnstone, and Jim Fregosi, the scheduled 3 hitters for the Angels here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Siebern hits this one on the fist into short center. Whitaker on the way. Can't get it, a base hit. So Norm Siebern opens up the bottom of the ninth inning with a pinch single into dead center field. That ball hit on the end of the bat and lofted right over second base into short center. And now here comes Hernandez running in from left field. He'll be running for Siebern. Jackie Hernandez, and he can move.
Your attention, please. For the Angels, running at first base for Siebern, number 12, Jackie Hernandez. The batter, Jay Johnstone.
Jack Hernandez running for Norm Siebern at first base, and here's Jay Johnstone, who's 1 for 3. Struck out, fly to left, single to left. Boyer way in at third base as Peterson delivers, and it's a check swing bouncer back to the mound. Peterson up with it, fires over to first, and he's out of there. And that ball actually almost hit Johnstone. He just backed away, and the ball hit his bat and dribbled out toward the mound, and he was out of there. The play going 1-3. Moving down to second base, Jack Hernandez. We have one down, and here's the shortstop, Fregosi, who flied to right twice, bounced to short. Last of the ninth inning, Yankees 5, Angels nothing. Fritz Peterson going for a second shutout of the year. If he can hang on, he'll get it. Got two tough hitters, Fregosi and Adcock, coming up. Jackie Hernandez on at second base. Defense about straight away for Fregosi. Holds the bat near the end. The pitch is high and inside, ball one. Jim Fregosi last night was felled like he'd been hit over the head with a sledgehammer, and he just left the ball game. Got hit on that point of the bone just below the temple and at the tip of the jaw, the very top part of the jaw, rather. And he's back playing, and they're calling him Iron Jaw on the bench down there. The ball player's giving him quite a ribbing. Of course, they're thankful that nothing was broken, and so is he. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Fregosi. Hit to right center. Could be trouble. Clinton moving over. Can't get it. And here comes Hernandez. Going into second base is Fregosi, and it's a 5-1 ball game. So Jim Fregosi breaks the ice for the Angels here in the bottom of the ninth inning by driving in the first run of the ball game. And for Fregosi, that's his 28th double of the year and his 45th RBI.
First baseman.
So Fritz Peterson loses his shutout here in the last of the ninth as Joe Adcock comes to the plate. Adcock is 1 for 3, had an infield single in the seventh. Fregosi at second, moving off. Peterson delivers, and Adcock takes high, ball one. Dooley Womack, young rookie right-hander, up and throwing in the Yankee bullpen. Now Peterson gets a sign. Checks the runner at second. Here's the pitch to Adcock. Outside, 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Yankees leading 5-1. Last of the ninth inning. 1 out. Fregosi at second base. 1 run in. Peterson to Adcock, way outside, 3-0. So Fritz Peterson is starting to run into trouble here. Fregosi at second base, 1 run in. Angels trailing by 4. It's a 5-1 ball game. Adcock 3-0 at the plate. Here's Peterson. He sets the pitch in there for a strike. The Big A frame out there, and they call this place the Big A. Got the halo stuck right at the apex of the A. Rather a majestic sight when you look at it at night from a distance. Here's Peterson to Adcock. He fouls this one back. It's 3-2 now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 1 away. Jim Fregosi at second base. 21,254 on hand. Yankees leaving immediately after the ball game for Minnesota. Arrive there about dawn. They'll spend most of the day in bed. They play there tomorrow night. And a day-night doubleheader on Saturday and a single game on Sunday. Here's the payoff pitch to Adcock. Hit to Bobby Richardson. He's got it on a line. 2 down. The ball was well hit right at Bobby Richardson. So they're 2 away. Fregosi holding at second, and Bob Rogers, the catcher, is coming on. Bob Rogers bounced to short, popped to second, hit into a double play. The Yankees leading 5-1. Don't forget, the Yankees will be back to the stadium September the 13th against the Senators. That'll be a Tuesday evening ball game. And also, don't forget, September the 17th, Bobby Richardson Day at the stadium. All right, Peterson sets. Here's a pitch to Rogers outside, ball 1. Dooley Womack continues to throw in the Yankee bullpen just in case. Phil Rizzuto will be along with a wrap-up immediately after and bring you all the scores. Got final scores of all the games all set for you. Now the 1-0 pitch, and it's a bullet up the middle, a base hit. Fregosi around third, and here he comes, and it's a 5-3 ball game. And now here comes Ralph Houck out of the Yankee dugout. So while we're waiting for Dooley Womack to come in, as Houck is making a change, here's the scooter, and he'll give you all the scores right now.
On the scoreboard in the American League in 10 innings, Detroit beat the White Sox 7-5. Sherry was the winner in relief, Bazard the loser in relief. Northrup had a 3-run homer in the 4th inning. Cash and Horton homered in the 10th. Tommy Agee homered for the White Sox. Cleveland beat Baltimore 4-1. Siebert the winner. He's won 15 and lost 7. Now Palmer the loser. Alvis homered in the 5th and Sims in the 6th with 1 on. The only other game scheduled in the American League. In the National League, the Mets beat the Giants 2-1. Ryband all the way, and he's won 10 and lost 6. Quite a record for the Mets. And Jim Perry, what's his first name again? Gaylord Perry, the loser. He has lost his last 3 ball games. He's now 20-5. The Dodgers beat the Pirates 4-3. Sutton the winner, Law the loser. That was in 10 innings. Bailey homered in the 10th with 1 on. It was a 1-1 ball game, but in the 10th, the Dodgers scored 3 and the Pirates 2. The Phillies beat Houston 3-1. Larry Jackson the winner, Farrell the loser. Nicholson homered for Houston. The Cubs beat Cincinnati 11-3. Kuntz the winner, Pappas the loser. Ernie Banks homered in the 4th. And Atlanta lost to the Cardinals 7-4. St. Louis 7, Atlanta 4. Carlton the winner, Kelly the loser. Buchek homered in the 3rd inning. Well, those are the scores, Jerry, and the new pitcher out on the mound, Dooley Womack.
Okay, with 2 out in the 9th inning here and 2 runs in, it's a 5-2 ball game. Here's Dooley Womack coming on for Fritz Peterson. Peterson went 8 2/3 innings, gave up 7 hits, walked none, struck out 4, and allowed 2 runs. In the event that Bob Rogers would score, that would be charged to Fritz Peterson. Dooley Womack has not allowed an earned run in his last 25 2/3 innings pitch, and that covers a span of 12 ball games. Womack has a record of 5-3 on the year and leads the club in earned run with a 2.37 earned run average. Dooley Womack making his 32nd appearance of the year, and this being his rookie season. And a fine rookie year it is. In fact, the Yankees have some fine young rookies. Fritz Peterson, who started this ball game and went into the 9th inning. Dooley Womack doing a fine job. Steve Whitaker, Horace Clark. So the sign on the big A-frame, flashing the word go, and the fans retorting as it's flashed up there. Here's Bobby Knopp, who's 1 for 3. The pitch by Womack. Curve is in there for a strike. Sidearm curveball sweeping across the plate. Bob Rogers at first. For Bob Rogers, that was RBI number 46 on the year. Driving in Jim Fregosi from second base. Nothing in one. The count, the pitch, and it's lined off to the right in foul territory. No balls, 2 strikes. What a scramble for that baseball. Womack way out in front, no balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs. The pitch, and it's hit to right field, slicing down the line, drifting foul into the stands. Count remains 0-2. Pepitone all the way down there near the field covering. Couldn't get to it, and right with him, Marty Springstead, the rookie umpire. Bob Rogers on at first. 2 runs are in. This inning started with Norm Siebern dumping a single into center. Johnstone bounced out as Hernandez went in to run for Siebern. Fregosi doubled, scoring Hernandez. Adcock lined out to Richardson, and then Bob Rogers singled to center, scoring Fregosi, and that's as it stands right now. There's a curveball foul down the third base side past Del Rice. Count remains at 0-2, and the Yankees 5 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. The Angels 2 runs, 7 hits, and 4 errors. Yankees will be playing in Minnesota tomorrow night. We'll be on the air at 8:55 with the Yankee warm-up at 8:40. Dooley Womack in relief of Fritz Peterson gets the sign from Elston Howard. Here's the pitch, a ground ball. Boyer over the bag, fair territory, the long throw in time, and the ball game is over. Play going 5-3. And for the Angels here in the bottom of the ninth, 2 runs on 3 base hits, 1 man left. Final score of this ball game, the Yankees 5 and the Angels 2. And here's the Scooter with the totals and the highlights.
All right, Jerry, for the Yankees, 5 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. For the Angels, 2 runs, 7 hits, 4 errors. The winner, Peterson, he's 11-9. The loser, Marcelino Lopez, 5-13. The Yankees scored 2 runs in the 3rd inning, 2 in the 6th on a 2-run homer by Tresh, and 1 in the 9th. The Angels picked up their 2 runs in the 9th inning. This program, brought to you in cooperation with Sports Network, is authorized under rights granted by the New York Yankees solely for the entertainment of our audience. And any publication, reproduction, or other use of the descriptions and accounts of this game without the express consent of the New York Yankees is prohibited. Tonight's Yankee baseball broadcast has been brought to you direct from Anaheim Stadium in California by courtesy of Ballantine Beer. Ballantine's got the flavor that says, hey, friend, do it again, Ballantine Beer. Tastes so smooth and easy going down. Today's Ballantine Beer, big and bright, crisp and light. Today's Ballantine is the greatest ever. And by courtesy of the Tidewater Oil Company and your neighborhood Flying A service station dealers, the men who worry your car troubles away. Only time they don't worry is when they're pumping new hydrogen-treated Flying A gasoline. It's already been worried to perfection. At Flying A, when it comes to your car, ooh, do we worry. And now for Joe Garagiola, Red Bobbitt, Jerry Coleman, Joe Cooper, and Bill Kane, this is Phil Rizzuto saying our next Yankee baseball broadcast will see the Yankees facing the Minnesota Twins from Metropolitan Stadium in Minnesota at 8:55 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time tomorrow night. Hope you'll join us then for more New York Yankee baseball. So long, everybody.